everyone, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. This is Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Bryan. And thank you for joining us tonight. We are here to do tarot readings and chat. If you've got questions, go ahead and post them in chat for us, or just say hello. I am up here in my office, still got boxes behind me, but still unpacking. How are you tonight, Bryan?
I'm good. Do we want to remind people about our rules when we do our things?
Yes, we will remind people we do not do readings about your health. We don't do readings for third parties. Hey, Renee, how are you? So don't ask us what your neighbor's cousin is thinking about the situation.
And don't ask either one of us about the gender of your tiny humans that you're making.
Anyway, that's a 50-50 shot. So, Hey, Anissa, and blessed Maven to you. Yes, blessed Maven to everyone joining us.
I thought that was on Saturday. Yay, early celebration.
Early celebration. People, well, it's generally celebrated between the 21st and the 23rd. So,
today is my
I
dad.
am
Today would have
great,
been my dad
Renee.
and uncle's birthday. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday.
All right.
So happy birthday to the Elder Hobbit early.
Well, happy birthday to the Elder Hobbit. Give her my best wishes. From another Hobbit.
Yep.
My daughter used to call me her Hobbit mom.
That's why we use Elder Hobbit.
Well, my daughter was 5'11", so she got to look down and call me her Hobbit mom.
My mom's 4'6".
Hi, Raven, and blessed Maven to you. And I do want to remind everyone, join us at pagan.world. Sign up for a free account. Just pagan.world. And make new connections. Check out our directory. It's a work in progress. We are building a directory of pagan businesses, festivals, podcasts, everything pagan related. So come on over and check us out.
I have a listing on there as well.
Yes, he does. And does anyone have a question for us? And where did Elvis the cat go?
Other side of the couch.
Because Elvis hangs out and chats with us till we go live, and then Elvis disappears.
Yep. Elvis is still in the building, but has relocated to the other side of the building.
Apparently, Elvis is a camera-shy cat. Go figure.
But she loves Zoom meetings.
Does she?
Mm-hmm. She attends all of my work from home meetings during the week when I work from home.
All right, Renee, we can do a general reading for you. And does Elvis show her butt to your boss?
No, she likes my boss. She chirps to the boss. He has a very soothing voice, so apparently that might be why she comes to the meetings. While we're pulling our cards, I taught my first of 3 astrology workshops at work and had 10 participants.
Wonderful. And hello, Gabriella. Thank you for joining us.
A full spectrum of fire signs. We had almost full spectrum of water signs, and not an air sign to be found. at least in the big three.
Okay.
And actually,
Say,
the air was more left to the moon than the sun. All right. Would you like to go first?
I would. Okay. So, hi, Sage. We would love to do a reading for you. Just a moment. And Renee, the first card I've got for you is the Princess of Cups. And so this is talking about your emotions and perhaps holding back a little in this situation. The next card I've got for you is the Ten of Wands. So you are in a situation where what you want is going to happen, but not everything has come together yet. You just have to give it a little more time. And then finally, we have the Ace of Wands. And this is talking about manifesting. So, what you're working on is going to happen, but it is going to take a little more time. And what have you got, Bryan?
I lost all of our little chats, but I have the Fool. So for Renee, I'm seeing the start of a new project, a start of a new journey. Three of Pentacles, which is usually about material gain and finances, but also about teamwork. So I'm seeing a new project that might have more than one person involved in it for you. And then I also have the High Priestess. So I'm seeing a potential new spiritual project for you that involves another person, or maybe you're continuing your studies. I'm not quite sure, so I'm gonna do my best Rev Don impression and just pull one more card because why not? I wonder if he'll laugh at that. I pulled the Two of Cups, which is traditionally the card of partnerships and relationships, but I'm gonna guess the universe just says you're gonna work on a spiritual project, something new with some new people, because apparently that's all the universe wants to tell me.
All right. And Gabriel, we on Thursday nights we do free readings, usually a 3-card draw. We'll get to you in a minute. And because next is Sage. And Sage has asked for a general reading.
Great. I lost the sidebar, so I'm gonna rely on you there for a bit.
Okay. Well, as long as I keep the sidebar, we're good.
Cool.
And you're welcome, Gabriella. So we'll go ahead.
Oh, it came back.
Welcome, Renee. It came back?
Yeah.
All right. Every now and then, Restream gets a little funky here. All right. So, general reading for Sage.
Would you like me to go
Yes,
first?
you may, Angelina. Hi, Lynn. How are you tonight?
Would you like me to go first?
You may.
And we'll do the back and forth thing. I like how you and Rev Don do that. So I pulled the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is about love and emotional expression, but also that free flowing the way water sort of after you've poured like a glass of water, if you poured too much, it sort of falls really nicely. And I pulled Mary, just the Queen of Swords. Which for those who don't know, that is the card that Mary says represents herself most. So when I always see that card, I think of Mary. But for me, it's also brains over beauty. Um, you care less about your physical appearance and more about what people think of your intellectualness and wisdom. So I see I see you needing, doing more of that self-care for yourself, caring more about the inside more than the outward appearance. And then I have the 5 of Pentacles. Now, again, like I spoke about with the last bit, um the Pentacles are usually about material gain, finances, that sort of thing. So while you're working on more of your inner appearance, um, try not to go to those dark places of loss and abandonment and misfortune, because that'll take your what you're trying to do going forward and bring you backward. So try not to focus on that too much while you're doing this like reflection and self-care during this time.
All right. So the first card I pulled for you is Magic. And that means exactly what it says. In this situation, you have the ability to manifest the outcome you want using magic. But that does mean you have to focus on producing the outcome you want. Then the next card I have is the Queen of Cups, which is water and water. So this is a woman who experiences her emotions but is in control of them. So there's a lot of emotional energy for you in the current situation, but you are in control of it. And then the next card I have is Heart. And this also speaks about emotional energy. This one shows lovers. It does not necessarily mean this situation is a romantic situation, but what it does mean is in your current situation, you have an awful lot of emotional involvement, and you do need to take that into account. So I hope you find that helpful. All right. And next, we are doing a general reading for Gabriella. Okay, Tammy, yes, we can do a general reading for you. We have Gabriella and Angelina in front of you. Oh, I'm glad it's helpful, Sage, and you are most welcome.
Absolutely. This is one of mine, at least one of my favorite things to do the end of the week. I look forward to my time with Mary twice a month.
Yes, I Tarot Thursdays are one of my favorite evenings.
Why you stalking me, Mary?
Okay. So the first card I have for you is the Four of Pentacles. And this means that financially you're in a good situation. You have enough for your own needs, and you can share with others. The next card I have for you is the Six of Cups. And this is talking about relationships and possibly someone you have known previously coming back into the picture. This could be a friend, could be a lover, it could be a coworker, a business, or someone you've done business with. And paired with the Four of Pentacles, that makes it a little more likely to be a business relationship. And then I've got the Eight of Swords. And what this shows is someone who's imprisoned. So it cannot, you may be feeling very stuck right now in a situation that just isn't moving. So I'm going to do what Reverend Donna's taught us and pull one more card.
He'd be so proud.
And I've got the Lovers. And this means that you're going to have a choice to make. Not necessarily in romance, but you are going to have to make a choice. And if you are feeling stuck right now, just wait out the situation because things are going to start moving.
All right. And with that, oh look, it's Mary again. But this side of the Queen of Swords is there's something in front of you and you just want it to be fair. Like intellectually, whatever disagreement or inner battle you're having, the whole it's not fair statement is what keeps coming up. To follow up with that is the moon, which the moon is about introspection, it's about reflection and like shadow work and figuring out why whatever it is not fair. Might have something to do with the experience and things that have happened to you before that have triggered this it's not fair response. However, once you go through that phase of it's not fair and figuring out why it's not fair, there's the Chariot, which means you will be victorious in whatever inner conflict you're having. Once you get past that it's not fair part in your head, you will be victorious in this inner conflict once you get over that piece. So I hope that's helpful.
Okay, I hope that helped you, Gabriella. And now Angelina has asked for a reading. Angelina, do you have a specific question or are we doing a general reading for you? And Angelina is asking for a general reading. Okay.
Whose turn is it first?
Mine.
Okay. Just making sure.
And Gabriella says, so helpful. Thank you guys so much. I've been pulling the moon a lot, and I thought it was just because I'm a Cancer.
I'm a
No,
Cancer too.
you've clearly got a lot of moon energy going on. And I believe you go first.
Ah. This is for Gabriella, right?
Yeah.
No, Angelina.
We're drawing for Angelina.
Hi,
Hey,
Michael.
Michael. How are you?
So the first card I pulled is Temperance. So for those who don't know, Temperance is about, for some, it's about alchemy, the changing of one thing to another. In this instance, usually it's water into wine, that whole sort of thing. So I do see a season of change for you coming. And then I pulled the Ten of Wands, which, means that there will be some responsibility and duty and obligation during that change. It's also a card of action, so you will have to motivate yourself to take on that responsibility and take on that duty. That's not this is a you taking action, not you waiting for someone to tell you what to do. You're gonna know what steps you have to take, and you're gonna make them. And then I have another, wand with the knight. So again, you taking direct action, being a risk taker, even if whatever action comes to mind first sounds a bit too obscure and risky, I would deeply consider taking that risk unless it's something, really, really bad. I wouldn't do that. But I'm gonna channel my inner Rev Don, and I'm gonna pull one more card because apparently he's been a really bad influence on us, or a really good influence, depending on who you talk to. With the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so now I know why he does this. Thank you so much. It is about work and material gain and being patient, but finally maybe looking at some of your investments and maybe cashing them in or pulling them because it might be the right time for that. So if you are thinking about that, this might be the time to do it. I've never had that happen before. That's cool. I've never had a moment of I should pull one more card.
All right. Are you done?
I'm done, but that was cool.
Okay.
All right.
So, the first card I have got for you is the Nine of Pentacles. And this represents being self sufficient and having everything you need. Doesn't mean help isn't available, but it means you don't need to ask for help at this point. The next card I've got for you is the Four of Swords. And that means it's time to take a bit of a rest. Maybe you need to reevaluate some things, think about where you want to go, but you do need to take a little bit of time to rest. And then finally, I've got the Three of Lamps. Now I'm reading with the Tarot of Hecate, and this deck, designed by Reverend Don Lewis, is unique. It's a 100-card deck. This suit has to do with spiritual matters, and this is talking about living your spiritual ideals in your public life. So, taking these three cards together, I'm going to say you've gotten where you need to be in your mundane day-to-day life. And now it's time to think about where you want to move in your spiritual life. So, Angelina, I hope you find that helpful.
I think it's also important, since we might have some new folks here, that sometimes, since Mary and I are reading for the same person, we pick up different vibes and messages, as we are in two different total parts of the country.
We are, and we're using different decks, and sometimes Spirit has more than one message for you.
The advantage of having two readers instead of one. All right.
All right. Hi, Marie Lean.
Welcome.
Welcome. Okay, and back to Gabriel. She had posted, or Gabriella posted another comment about, yes, I do feel stuck in this cycle, but I am trying to work on it. Thank you guys for your time and energy. I feel heard. And you are welcome. Okay, and I see a cat tail.
Yep. Elvis has entered the building.
All right, so we have done Angelina, and the next person who asked for a reading, Angelina says spot on. Candace said first time and would like a reading. And then Tammy wanted a general reading after Angelina.
All right.
Okay. We'll be happy to do a reading for you, Tammy.
Oh, there she is.
Hi, Elvis. Thank you for showing us your butt.
My child.
Yeah.
We're dog
Well,
sitting tonight too.
huh?
We're dog sitting this evening as well.
Well, my dog is downstairs, but otherwise, she could be laying next to me, licking her nether end. So,
Ella's gonna do what she's gonna do.
yes, she is.
All right, it's your turn first this time.
It is indeed my turn to
Welcome,
go.
Candace. Thanks for coming for the first time. So we have a couple in the stack, but we will be able to do that reading for you, no problem.
All right. So, Tammy, the first card I've got for you is the Six of Pentacles. And this card is talking about reevaluating where you are in the material plane and just looking at what you're doing with your resources and are you spending them wisely. Then I've got the Queen of Swords, and yes, this card has represented me in readings for 20 years, folks. 20 years. I'm beginning to think I just need to go get my ritual sword and lay it on my desk. But the Queen of Swords is about effective communication and overcoming obstacles. So be sure your voice is being heard, but two, be sure you are choosing the right way to communicate with people. The sword is sharp and it's not a bludgeon. So don't beat somebody over the head with it. And finally, we have the Princess of Cups. Cups are about emotions. The princess represents earth, so there is some restraint here around emotions. So in the situation, you've got a lot of emotion, but do keep it under control. So don't let your emotions carry you away. And we'll see what Bryan has to say.
I was gonna say, is that all she wrote?
Yes.
So I have for the first card the Seven of Cups. For the Seven of Cups does come with sort of like that warning on the box of be careful what you wish for, and when you're manifesting, try to be as specific as possible. If you want 6 green apples, for example, do not manifest apples. You might get, 3 red ones and 2 yellow ones and a green one. So that's to be said with be careful what you wish for, and when manifesting, the gods and spirit prefer that you be as specific as possible, in your asks and your requests. followed up by going backwards numerically with the Six of Cups, which is about usually like nostalgia and inner child work and that like sense of wanting to go back to a better time. So I see like you're wishing for the ability to go backwards and maybe redo some things or wish you could see something from a different perspective that you didn't see before. However, for the final card so far, I will not say this will be the final card because I've gotten better at realizing that the Ace of Wands, which all of that is to say that while you're doing that, oh, manifesting and wishing you can go backward, take the initiative to know that you can change direction and change course in your actions and come up with new inspirations and new ideas that will better you in the future. Um, gonna gonna do just in case. The Ace of Cups. So another single card, which is about, as I've said, new emotions and new feelings. So I see maybe you've been coming out of a bad relationship or friendship, and you're wishing you could rekindle that friendship. But there are new friendships and new relationships out there, so don't dwindle on old ones and look for new ones. That's all I got.
So, do I name you Don Jr. at this point?
No, Brian's just fine. I think he would be rather proud of me. However, my hair is not as you know impressive as his.
Yeah, Elvis. Hi, Candace. Elvis is his cat. I forget why Elvis is named Elvis,
We're
but
not quite sure. When we picked her up from the shelter, that was her name, and we liked it. So my partner has a thing for naming cats after musicians, so we just kept it. Except for the fact that she's a girl, and they kept misgendering my own child, which made me want to adopt her even more.
all right. So next up, we've got Gloria and Gloria. What do you want us to read on for you in this situation? Can you post something to clarify that a bit? I am sorry for your loss. That is terrible, but
I
what
think
do you want us to read about? That is just devastating to lose
I think
someone.
my interpretation is her asking if she's ready to move on or if she should stay in reflection mode. But let's help and see if she responds back before we do it that way.
And we can certainly read it that way. I'm glad it helped, Tammy.
I think I showed this deck last week while we wait for Gloria. But this is my card for the evening for my nightly pull from the Peacock and Serpent deck.
Okay.
Do you have any Mabon plans, Miss Mary?
In honor of the Sabbath, I am finishing getting my house in order.
Oh, you right, exactly. Okay.
Hi, Rita. Well, Gloria has not responded. Are you still with us, Gloria?
I'm okay reading it with that.
All right, so we will read for Gloria, asking if she should move on or stay reflecting over the loss of her significant other.
Works for me. Thought I had shuffled in the wrong direction and committed a great problem.
Oh dear.
Nope, we're good. It was just a thought, not an actual. All right, whose turn is it?
Yours.
Oh, okay. So, Gloria, I do not want to frighten you, but the first card I pulled is death. Now, full disclosure, death is not about death here. It's about rebirth. It's about reinventing yourself. So, I would say to start off with that while you are grieving the loss of your partner, and I'm sorry you're going through that, um, that your grieving is moving to the next phase, which is not forgetting but moving on and knowing that your partner would want to see you happy and supported and cared for. And then for my second card, I pulled the Four of Cups here, which is while you are doing that, you're still able to be in that place of reflection and sort of like grieving, but you are starting to slowly want to move into that more pat. She keeps moving my table. To that more active state of grieving, where you're thinking about it, but you're worried that it might look like you're forgetting him when you're not. You're just into that next phase. Now, the last card is a bit of a strange one for this sort of reading. Um, because again, as we talked about, pentacles are about material gain and finances, but it also comes with patience and being patient with yourself and not rushing the grieving or the mourning process. So I would say that you're getting to that place, but you might not be there yet. Don't let anyone rush you. You'll be ready when you feel ready. If you're ready now, you're ready now. If you're not, you're not, and that's okay.
All right. And the first thing I'm going to say is there is no timetable for grief. You process your grief at the rate you process your grief. So
Definitely.
the first card I drew for you is the Queen of Lamps. Lamps is the suit of spirituality, and the Queen is talking about moving forward, but not rushing forward, but looking for a way to move forward gently, or if you're pushing a new idea, looking for a way to insert it. So, this is talking about going forward, but you don't have to rush it. Take it one day at a time. Then, and this is kind of odd in this situation, but the next card I got is the Sun. And the Sun speaks of a happy outcome. So, you're going to get there. It may not be immediate, but you will get there. And I'm speaking from my own experience. You do reach a place where the memory of someone you love brings you joy instead of pain. You will get to that point. And then the final card I have is the Five of Pentacles. And this speaks of loss. A lot of times it's a material loss, but I think paired with the Sun here, it's like you're seeking happiness, but you also have this loss that you're dealing with. So now I'm pulling one more card.
Tell
And
me.
I have got the Three of Swords. And so again, there is loss, but you are moving forward. So move forward at your own pace, is what I'm seeing here. And don't let someone tell you you should be over it by now, because this seems to be someone you loved very deeply, and that love is going to be with you the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that there won't be room for other love in the future, but that love will be with you. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, and chat has blown up on us. Let's see here.
I can go a bit longer tonight if we just want to get through these.
Okay, so Candace wants a reading, and Maria wants a reading, and Rita wants a reading. And we are going to, hi Renee. All right, so we're going to close after Rita.
Sounds good.
And hi Rita, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So we'll finish with Rita, and then do you want one this evening?
We'll see where we are on time.
Cool. Sounds good. And I think for the closing out, I'll pull a general reading from the Mabon article for everyone before we close out.
Let's do that. All right, so we are reading for Candace at this point.
Yes, ma'am. And I believe you are first this go round.
I am first. All righty. So my first card for you is the King of Wands. And this is talking about being in control of your situation. Wands are fiery, passionate, manifesting, and you're in control. You want to be in control of that situation. Now, the next card I've got for you is the Major Arcana, and this is Mind. And what this means is there is something in your situation that you don't know. There's some information you don't have right now. So this card is cautioning you about moving forward until you have all the information to make your best decision with. And then finally, I have time. And this card is talking about the cycles of time. And whatever we do fits into the universe in cycles. This is, I'll hold it up again, has Mayan imagery. And everybody remember when the Mayan calendar said the world was supposed to end? Except nobody asked the Mayans, and they were like, no, no. It means it's the end of the cycle and we start all over.
Going to say a circle has no end.
Yeah, so this is talking about how time is a cycle. And so bear that in mind, that things go up, they come down. So whatever you are seeing right now is transitory and it will pass. And we'll let Bryan see what he has.
First card I have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups, says that there's balance in all areas of your life, your health, your wealth, your love, and relationships. Um, Things are as ideal as you'd like them to be. The second card is the Two of Wands, and as this card shows, there's someone is looking out on their the land they own, their territory, and thinking about their next move. So while you feel fulfilled and have everything you could think of right this second, you're definitely thinking of what else you want to do in the future. And then the third card I pulled is Strength. Um, so thinking about all of those things, it's thinking of, do I have the strength to take on more? Do I want to take on more? And because I apparently cannot help myself this evening, I'm going to pull
Oh,
a
come
card.
on. Go on.
What?
You're channeling him.
I know. I don't know. We'll ask him about that some other time. Very, very. I have a lot of questions about this evening now. Um, I pulled the Knight of Pentacles, which means all of these things are going to take some dedication, and whether you want to actually take the time to further expand yourself or whether you have the time for that. So, you have some choices to make. I really hope he's watching this just so he can laugh at me.
Oh, I messaged him.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Okay. Alrighty. So that was, we've gotten Candace,
Yep.
and we got, that was for Marie. So now we've got a reading for Rita.
Okay. Is it general?
Yes.
All right.
And Renee would like a reading.
Great.
I'm glad that worked for you, Candace.
I like this method too. It makes the job of our reader so much easier when you can focus on your message, somebody else focuses on another.
Yes.
Mary's here all the time, but she always has a different guest of sorts.
Yes, I try to have a guest. I've done it by myself a couple of times. It's more fun when I have someone to chat with.
I like watching when you and Rev Don do it.
Yes, it is fun to do it with Rev Don. It is fun to do it with you.
All right. My child's hungry.
Why aren't you feeding that cat? Okay, I think you go first.
I went first. Oh, yes, I do go first. We're almost done, Elvis. So, the Seven of Swords, right? The Seven of Swords is that trajectory of deception, of deceit, of secrets. You're not quite at the point of someone stabbing you in the back or you stabbing someone in the back, but you're getting ready for it. And that isn't to say that you are a deceiver or that you are being dishonest. It's to say that you're sneaking around somewhere either consciously or subconsciously, or potentially unintentionally. It's not always an intentional thing, but I would say to be mindful of that. Now, the Six of Wands says that even in doing all of that and rethinking it, you're going to be victorious either in what you have intended or stopping yourself from doing it. Because this card is about victory and being acknowledged, even self-acknowledging that if you've thought about doing something you shouldn't, that you've stopped yourself, right? And I pulled the Four of Wands, which is actually about homes and families, and there's a celebration going on. So I would say that if you're going through a rough time and you're thinking of taking a drastic action, to really think about it and make the best possible choice for yourself, and that choice will end up being the one that's best suited for you in order to continue living a happy and healthy life.
All right. So the first card I pull for you is the Four of Swords. And this means kind of a timeout, taking some time to reflect and rest. The next card I have is the King of Swords. And this is talking about the ability to make good decisions. And also, in this case, go with your own gut. Do what you feel is best in this situation and don't let somebody else talk you out of what you believe is your best course of action. And then finally, I have the Four of Wands.
Oh, yay, we did it.
We did it. Happy family card. Well, no, that's not the happy family card, but this is, a celebration, achieving what you've worked for.
What Mary and I are celebrating is we pulled one of the same cards in the same reading. That is what we did it.
Yes. And it wasn't the moon this time.
No.
So I hope that was helpful for you, Rita. And we have just enough time to do a reading for Renee.
Oh, hi, Kai. She's been stalking us all evening.
Hi, Kai. And oh, by the way, Lord Don says clearly I have had an effect.
Just a little bit. Tiny one.
You are welcome, Renee.
All right, so we have one more.
One more, and then you can do a Mabon oracle for us.
Of course. All right. So 2 more readings, Elvis, then food time.
I can't believe you're starving, that poor cat.
She ate at 6. She likes her meals close together. She'll survive. She's not starving nor dying.
I really do miss my cat Tiger waking me up at 6 a.m. every day of the week on my bed. Meow, meow,
Nope.
meow,
Nope.
meow.
She doesn't
Meow.
do that. So she gets food at 6 p.m. And then around 11 o'clock is when she asks for breakfast. And then the rest of the day, she doesn't care. All right. It's your turn to go first, correct?
It is.
Great.
Okay, Rita. So the first card I've got for you is the moon. And this is a card about reflection and seeking counsel with your higher power. It can be a little hard to see, but there are people doing ritual around a fire inside of the triptychs here. The next card I have for you is the Four of Pentacles. And this means that in the material realm, you are doing well. You have enough for your own needs, and you can share if you need to. And then this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. This is the Six of Lamps. And this represents someone doing a vision quest. So This is calling you to leave the mundane world behind for a bit and focus on what your higher power is saying to you, whether you view that as God and Goddess, spirit, ancestors, your higher self, however you see that, Rita. That is what you're being called to do.
All right.
I see that, Kai. I had a dog that would lie about getting fed.
Oh, Elvis occasionally gets away with that. So I pulled the Magician, which is about pure potential and manifestation. So if you believe it, you can do it. While manifesting, some people do go into periods of reflection or fasting or giving up things as an offering for what they're wanting to manifest. That's something you should consider during this period of manifestation is what whoever your higher power is or however you see deity, think about how you're going to petition for what you're manifesting in exchange for what you want. And finally, one of my favorite cards, which is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is about indecision and impasse. So that is to say that without this go around, without that period of offering or petitioning, your what you're manifesting might not happen this go around because you are being asked to give some sort of tribute or offering in exchange for what you're asking for. Without that, you'll sort of cancel yourself out, essentially. Should
Well,
I?
Rita, I hope you found that helpful.
Yeah.
And Bryan, we got just enough time for you to do a Mabon oracle for us.
Yeah. I wish I had enough time to grab the other set for our friends and family in the southern hemisphere, but for this go around, we will keep it to our part of the cycle of the year. Darkness falls. It says, "Within you live the hidden, the things you want nothing more than to swallow you whole." So that is talking about, again, as appears to be the biggest theme of the night here, is as we're going into the second harvest, is that period of reflection and harvesting and the dark half of the year where we all want to hibernate and think about what we're going to do moving forward.
All
So,
right, and as I went to shuffle my cards to clear them, one fell out.
oh,
It's the Fluffy.
it is the fluff. What does the
And
fluff
some,
say?
okay, and I probably ought to give a little bit of background. When Lord Don did the Kickstarter for this deck, one of the options was to commission a card. And our dear friend Fluffy did that, and I'm trying to get this as close in as I can. This wolf is missing a foot. He had to have a foot amputated. It was badly infected. And this card is about transformation. It's about even when you're looking at what seems to be a really negative situation, finding the good in it and transforming. And you can see his human clothes behind him, and he's transformed into a wolf. So, this card is calling us, as we are entering the dark part of the year, to examine that part of ourselves and then transform.
So
So,
you wanna laugh, Mary? So I was cleaning out the cards, and of course, what? And with that,
good
we
night,
are
Moon.
done. Good night, Moon. Yes. Blah 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 blah.
You are welcome, Renee.
Of
Well,
course, Renee.
Bryan, thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone who's been hanging out with us and asking for readings. We both enjoy doing this. Please join me next week for Tarot Thursday. Whatever Facebook page or YouTube channel you're watching on, we'll be back on next week. Again, join us at pagan.world. You can register for a free account, make connections. We are going to connect 1 million pagans together, and we are building the next generation directory for the pagan world. So, blessed Maven, everyone, and blessed be.
Bye.